building operations have changed to adapt to the needs of tenants, to maintain safe work environments, and how owners and operators develop trust that those needs are being met, while balancing capital investments. This has been challenging, as teams have had to adapt operations to changing tenant occupancy and demands, rapidly evaluating new technologies and investments, and establishing good communication with their tenants to make sure that they are comfortable and understand the efforts being put forth by property teams. Teams that prioritize technology can much more effectively respond to and resolve issues. And these issues do not always require capital investment, but can have profound effects, like this example. And here, the y-axis is runtimes that are not scheduled, and the x-axis is time. So on the left is April of this year, and on the right is the present. Just because the trend is down does not mean the building isn't still changing quickly to new environments. In fact, it is. They just have overcome the burdens of those issues that they first experienced at the beginning of the pandemic. In a time when teams are stretched thin and demands are high, technology allows teams to become even more efficient. This building team leveraged technology to continuously make adjustments and changes with less issues over time. This has a real impact on ensuring tenant needs are being met while managing facilities' operational expenses. Using technology like building simulations, which are normalized for weather and occupancy, the building performance can be measured with a high degree of accuracy. Just look at this example, which had a 46% energy reduction in the month of June. So with technology, owners and operators can understand the impacts of these investments on their buildings. For instance, even a simple filter replacement where all options meet ASHRAE standards. The options can have differences in their economics. Like this example, where a washable MERV 13 filter saved $20,000 a year, while the other MERV 13 filter costs $10,000 a year. When simulating the impacts on different systems, you can see how the filter that saved money used more pump energy, but was greatly outweighed by the savings from the fan systems. As teams are balancing the effectiveness and costs in this uncertain time, technology can help provide specific information to them to make the right decisions for their circumstance.
Early on in the pandemic, there was a lot of uncertainty around what was considered safe operations. ASHRAE put out a guideline for the best practices during those uncertain times and recommended a 24/7 ventilation system operating schedule as a precaution. They've of course evolved these guidelines as new data and information has come out, but that means that building operators have to stay on top of the changing recommendations. In conversations I've had, every building operator shares a common thread of thinking right now. They are prioritizing safe operations for their tenants, but are also working to ensure optimized operations for energy. This introduces inherent complexity, as the best operations for their building may be changing with tenancy. Through data and review of designs, you can see in the example below that specific buildings' needs can be met while prioritizing both. As occupancy rates decrease substantially, approximately 90%, ventilation rates, which note that a ventilation rate is a per person measurement, do not need to increase substantially to still maintain a safe building. By modifying schedules from 24/7 to 12 hours a day, the ventilation rate is still well above the standard, and a 26% energy savings was realized. Distributed occupancy sensors can also better capture the real-time ventilation demand at each space in the building, allowing for more automated adjustments to changing tenancy.